Hi everyone, so it's a week commencing the 6th of June and it's mine and Tex's first weekly vlog. As it currently stands, Tex is actually symptomatic. He's quite exercise intolerant and he cannot manage 5 minutes of the lunge without his hind end getting extremely tight. So this week's vlog is going to be me showing you the symptoms he's presenting with, along with showing you what I'm doing to tackle this. So there could be 4 different reasons as to why Tex has gone symptomatic suddenly, because he's generally pretty well managed on the diet he's been on. So the first one being that he's suddenly grass sensitive, which I'll be very doubtful if it's this, because I've actually found that since his PSSM2 diagnosis that he's actually worse on a bull paddock than what he is if you chuck him out in a field with grass up to his knees. He seems to do better on quite a lot of grass. The second thing could be he needs more protein, which is what I think it might be. The reason I say this is because every other time he's gone symptomatic has been because he needs a protein increase. So this is going to be the first thing I'm going to be trying with him, purely and simply because this is what has worked from experience before. The third thing could be that he needs less protein. By increasing his protein, I'll also find this out, because obviously if he needs less protein, he's going to become more symptomatic. The last thing, which I hope it's not this, could just simply be the fact that his PSSM2 has progressed to a stage that he's just not manageable anymore. I hope this isn't the case. I know his PSSM2 is progressing despite when he is managed, because like I said before, he's got breathing issues now, he doesn't track up anymore, and he's got muscle divots. So I'm hoping it's one of the first 3 options. But yeah, the next video that you will see will be me doing an exercise test on Tex. So this is our exercise test. I lunge for 5 minutes. I lunge him rather than riding because I can see on the ground what he's doing and how he's going. So what am I seeing so far? I can see that his barrel is extremely sucked/tucked up. It's not relaxed. Tex isn't underweight, but at the moment he looks like a greyhound. If you look to his barrel, you'll see that it's actually tucked up and his actual chest is lower than the rest of him. That is a symptom he gets when he's symptomatic. And you'll also notice that he's not actually moving very forwards, he's going quite slow. And if I try and send him forwards, he's not very happy about it, he doesn't want to go. And he's got his ears pinned. If you look at his back legs, he's not lifting them up very high. They're almost trailing and dragging behind him. So that's another symptom that I'm seeing right there. This lowering his head, this isn't a symptom, he always does this. He's always done it, like ever since a youngster. He just lowers his head and stretches his back. What I'm going to do is I'm going to do another video and show you how his muscles are once I finish this 5 minutes. Okay, so this is after 5 minutes of exercise. I only lunge for 5 minutes because it gives me enough time to see if he's symptomatic, but also it's not enough time to cause any damage because it's such a short period of time. And yeah, I was right, he is still symptomatic. Look at this. That is rock solid. It's like, look, it's like punching a brick wall. Absolutely rock solid. It's loosened up a tiny bit because I've been talking for a little while, but that is like a wall. That shouldn't be like that. That's not right. The other side, however, is lovely and loose. Look at this. But it's a little bit harder as you go down to here, but this one's fine. But yeah, he's still not right. He had his protein up yesterday, so it's only been a day. I wouldn't expect to see any improvement yet, but we shall see as the rest of the week goes on. So it's exercise test number 2. Trot on. As you can see, this still isn't right. Yeah, you can just tell he's not forwards. I've literally just moved him from this field and just lunged him straight away. So he's been in the field, he's been walking around, and yeah, he's come out the field and he's like this. He don't really want to go forwards. Look at his back legs, he's not really picking them up very high. Trot on. He's not really happy to go forwards, and I can guarantee that after this 5 minutes of trotting again, he's going to be exercise intolerant, so we'll see. So I'll show you another bit of footage of him after I finish lunging him. So we've just finished the 5 minute exercise test, and like I suspected, rock solid, absolutely hard as a rock. There's nothing in that. Look at it. If I just compare, look at his belly, how squidgy his belly is, yeah, and his shoulder. Look how squidgy his shoulder is when I'm poking it. Now look at this. There's no giving that. It honestly, the only way I can describe it is like pushing the firmest mattress you've ever felt. It is rock hard. There's just nothing in it. It's just loosened up a tiny bit. Did you see that? That's from where I've stopped, because obviously I've not carried on, but if I carried on, he probably would have tied up. Let me try this side again. This side, hard. This is actually hard as well today. Hard here. It's not so much on the top here, but around here. Yeah. So I've obviously increased his protein. So he's on a heat mug and a half. Going by the fact it's now been 3 days and I expected to see an improvement, I don't think it's an actual protein issue this time, as in like a higher protein issue. The next phase, I'm going to try lowering the protein. I'm going to start that from today. But yeah, oh god, it's so stressful. This is the thing. Even if you've got a horse that's manageable, which Tex normally is, when they do go randomly symptomatic, which quite often they do, because like I said, things change, the grass changes, the weather changes, and it can set them off again, and you're just going down this rocky road every single time, and it just plays with your emotions. Anyway, enough of me moaning. On to tomorrow. I don't like filming myself upset. It's not really a good look, but I just wanted to show how PSSM2 can obviously affect you as an owner. It can be a real struggle. At the moment, I'm worried in case I can't get Tex right. Because normally he responds to the increase of protein, and this time he hasn't. So it's always in the back of my mind that he might obviously not respond to management because his PSSM2 is progressive. It's just hard. From an owner's perspective, managing the PSSM horse is really tough. And sometimes it's really hard to keep it together. Sometimes you need to have a little cry. But as you know, it can feel quite lonely when you're doing this. I'm on my own yard, so I've basically got no one to talk to really. So it makes it feel like I'm even more alone at times. Obviously I'm not. I've got all of you guys. But yeah, all I can do is, like I said, wait until tomorrow and see what happens when I lower the protein. I'm just hoping that he's okay. So this is exercise test number 3. This is the first day at Texas at low protein. I won't see a difference yet because obviously he's still going to have a higher protein in his system. I expect him to be pretty much the same today. But yeah, as you can see, still slow, still not wanting to go forwards. Still unhappy about going forwards. Normally on the lunge he's quite sprightly. Yeah, he's still like dragging his hind legs more or less. Not happy about pushing himself forward, so he's still exercise intolerant. Once again, I'll do a video after I've lunged and show you how his muscles are feeling. So yeah, like I suspected, Tex is still exercise intolerant. He's rock hard. We only managed 3 minutes today. It's not right. You can see, look how soft his stomach is again, and then you look at this, like, I've not pushed him to do the full 5 minutes today because he looked even worse than yesterday. Obviously at present he's still got the higher protein in his system, and it can't be that, because I would have seen a difference by now. I know that some people would be like, well, you're not giving it much of a chance, but I know with experience with him, if it's a higher protein issue, it literally worked within like 3 days. And this will be the 4th day today, and I'm still seeing no difference. In fact, he's getting worse. He started on a lower protein dose yesterday. I'm not going to notice to see if it's made any difference until Sunday or Monday, and obviously if that makes no difference, I'm going to put him on a strict PSSM1 rehab. The reason I've left... Tex, stand still, don't walk off, good boy. The reason that I've left that one till last is purely and simply because grass doesn't normally affect him. He was affected by the PSSM1 at the start when he was diagnosed with it, but since the PSSM2's kicked in, he does much better on grass. I've even had periods with him in the winter where he's been a little bit symptomatic, and I sort of thought, oh, like, is it the grass? Maybe it's not. But I found that putting him on like strict grazing made him more symptomatic, and then when I put him on the grass like this, he was 10 times better and his symptoms basically disappeared. So he does better on grass than without it. This is why I've left, like, taking him off the grass till last. But yeah, it could be the fact that that's kicked in now for some reason and he's become a bit grass affected. It could be because of the weather, that the weather's just making the grass grow. This grass is long, and some people would be absolutely horrified that I put a PSSM1 horse on this, but in fact the longer the grass, the less sugar there is in it. So really this is the best grass he could be on. He's better off on grass like that than grass like this that's really, really short, because the sugar's all down here in the bottom of the actual grass. So yeah, I'm going to be obviously monitoring him, and yeah, we'll see how he goes. So yeah.